Oh, yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, for sure.
Who else did you
I
get one
had
for? You got
had
three?
sensors up there, I had to go check when they go.
So you got
Oh,
Joe?
yeah, that's the way it was off.
And I did it all, I did all.
Ladies is down there.
Where does
Well,
Lane sit?
Because they put an extra seat in here.
And so, any thermal.
Yeah, that extra
any
seat
RTDs,
pulled me off.
anything.
Who are we missing?
Yes, I did count
Right,
right.
that area were mine, because I just want to go there. Yeah, this is yours.
Yeah, we ready?
Yeah,
I'd like to convene this public notice for our CBDG grant, Community Development Block Grant, first public hearing. Item 1A, we're doing it at 4:34. The Community Development Block Grant, CDBG, first public hearing notice. The notice is hereby given by Price City. Will hold a public hearing on 12/10/25 at 185 East Main Street, Price, Utah 84501 at 4:34. Price City is eligible to apply to the Utah Department of Workforce Services for funding under the Community Development Block Grant, the CDBG Small Cities Program, a federally funded program administered by the state of Utah Housing and Community Development Division, HCD. Public City is eligible to apply for CDBG funding provided Price City meets the applicable program requirements. The purpose of the public hearing is to provide citizens with pertinent information about the Community Development Block Grant Program and to allow for discussion of possible applications. This public hearing will cover eligible activities, program requirements, and expected funding allocations in the region. The CDBG program can fund a broad range of activities, including but not limited to construction of public works and facilities, work and sewer lines, fire stations, acquisitions of real property, and provision of public service such as food banks or homeless shelters. In the event that Price City chooses to apply CDBG grant funding, a second public hearing will be held at a later time to discuss the project. Further information can be obtained by contacting Justin Orth at 435-636-3147 in compliance with the American with Disabilities Act. Individuals needing special accommodations, including auxiliary, communicative aids and services during the hearing, should notify Justin North at 432 West 600 South, Price, Utah 84501 at least 3 days prior to the hearing. Individuals will seek and or hearing impairments may call the Relay Utah by dialing 711. Spanish Relay Utah 1-888-346-3162.
So, motion and second to open the hearing.
I move we open the public hearing.
Second.
And the motion from Councilmember Miller and the second from Councilmember Jesperson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And that was at 4:37 PM.
Mayor, just a couple comments to help out. One is that in the past, just to remind everybody, Price City has used CDBG money for the ADA access to the basement project over at the library. And most recently, it was about a year and a half ago for purchase of the SCBA's for the fire department. So those are some examples of where Price City has used it in the past. I would also advise you that the amount of CDBG funds that are expected to be available, now this is district-wide through the Association of Governments, so it'd be Carbon Immigrant, San Juan County, and have to go through all their ranking and rating process. But the total amount of money available district-wide is estimated to be $504,284. In your introduction, you mentioned the types of activities that can be funded with CDBG money, so I just wanted to let you know.
Chief, do you have anything to add to this?
I just think that it could be beneficial. We have 2 fire trucks that are seeing the expired life, as you would say. One's reaching over 25 years. The other one's seen a lot of firefighter mileage, if you want to call it, not necessarily highway miles, but have seen a lot of rough terrain. It would be possibly an option to put it forth towards one. Of course, it won't be able to pay for one, but it would be assistance to be able to pay for that. Of course, we'll need to purchase one in the near
Good
future.
start.
A good start, absolutely.
Nick, from what you said about the 500,000, I thought there was more that was available for this.
So the total amount of money, and I don't know the total, but
Okay.
it's probably closer to about $750,000. Now, there are what they call set-asides. So before the money's made available for projects, some of those set-asides are things like the housing and rehab program, the CDBG planning program that operate through the Association of Governments.
Okay.
So if we wanted to apply for this grant for fire truck or down payment or anything like that, what's the process?
So this public hearing is about what are possible projects. The chief mentioned one. The city settles on, the city can be a sponsor of a project. If we don't have a project, we're an eligible applicant, we can sponsor a project. If we have an internal eligible project, we can, so of course, sponsor our own. And once that determination is made, there'd be what they literally just call the second public hearing, which would be about the selected project or projects that application would be made for. And then application is made, potentially money is allocated. You might apply for a different amount of money than you actually receive. You might not get it this year. But that process would go on through the spring and into the late spring, early summer months.
And Justin is the one,
Justin's been the primary contact for CDBG for us this cycle, yes.
okay. Miles, did you have something to add?
No, I don't have any competing projects, thanks.
Even if you could talk, yeah.
Dave, did you have anything? You came in for this meeting?
These are,
No,
these are for,
His-
just here for the city council meeting.
Oh, you're here for the next one.
Seeing as though there's no more public comment?
You have to wait 15 minutes. for
Okay.
this.
Oh.
We do?
Yeah, I think there's a time limit for this. There is not something you can just
Open and close.
close.
I did not realize that in this thing, so.
I think there's a time limit on it. I could be wrong, but I have the book. No, I don't have the book. It's in my car. It says the outline of what you have to do with this. I know that when Tamara and I did it, we waited for 15 minutes.
It's not a bad thing to do. We've got
And it's
time.
recorded, so,
And I think this is a worthy project for us to look into. We know that this cost is gonna come up, whether we are proactive about it or reactive about it, it's going to hit us one way or the other.
It's been some years since we have a minute. That also, a couple of past projects ways back was, we sponsored projects for the Housing Authority of Carbon County. And we did that 2 or 3 years in a row.
Yeah, we did.
We did windows and furnace upgrades and quite a bit of efficiency upgrades for many of their properties. We were an eligible applicant, they had an eligible project.
Didn't we do the stained glass windows at the Greek church?
That was a different deal, that wasn't CBG, that was a different deal.
at this particular project, the council feels, that you want to go forward with, the 2 applications of the fire truck. I can speak on that, because come on in. So with just knowing the history of the fire trucks and what we have at risk, the one 606, you know, we do have a truck that can't make emergency speeds, and it's just evident that truck is something of a concern, and that's, if we get partial funding for this, then we look at doing something with that money and then going to CIB, or if we get, you know, 500,000, then we go after the other half and get another fire truck, you know, and be talking to them. I think that's the
Yeah, your fire trucks, they're increasing in price just like anything else. And the last quote for what I looked into to replace the engine itself is roughly 950,000 is what they usually range for. So that would just be a big chunk of change for the citizen price to actually put it on. So if we had to replace that engine, hopefully it's down the line. But another one is the 606 that Mara's talked about. It's the smaller truck that we take to try to save the apparatuses. It responds to our medical calls, our light rescue. It has some extrication equipment on it that allows us to go if it's outside of improved roads. But with that being medicals and the multiple jobs that it actually handles, it sees a lot of miles. Definitely a lot of use to it. So that would be one I would maybe want to be putting towards it if possible.
Would the price be about the same?
So that not being an apparatus, a rough estimate I had was somewhere in the neck of the woods about 425 to about 500,000. So that would be more obtainable, I believe, when I talked to Lisa, with if we went this grant and went forward with that.
Okay.
Do you have any questions about the process we're doing? This is an open meeting, so you're welcome to.
I think I understand.
Yeah, you've seen other cities going after this CBD. I've been watching the other cities post that they're doing the same process we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Helper just had theirs. I'm not sure Wellington had one.
Wellington, they did not have one. They were going to, but something happened and so they didn't. So I don't know. I'm gonna find out tonight.
But there's a couple cities in Emory County also that I've seen posted
Yeah.
that are doing the same process.
Mm-hmm.
So it's this money is very competitive as we talk, you know.
And Carbon Emory, Grand San Juan.
Yeah. And I'm just seeing the Carbon and Emory's postings, so.
So when you say about 500,000, is that how much is possibly available for price, or is that how much is available for like all of these competing cities?
That's the estimate for the entire district.
For counties.
Carbon
For-
Emory, Grand and San Juan, total dollars spent.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's, you know, like you said, the ranking of this project, where does it rank? And the importance of it.
If this project's selected, then there'll be another public hearing just on that project. And then it goes to what they call a ranking and rating to see how it stacks up against
The other towns.
Yeah, and things like match money, being ready to go, matter. You know, is the project ready to go? You know, if you have something that, you know, might not be ready to go because it needs engineering for a year or something, then it probably ranks lower
Mm-hmm.
than something that's right, that's ready to go.
I think we've reached our 15-minute limit, haven't we?
So Nick, could,
2 minutes into it, yes.
why wouldn't the chief of police be here for this?
I would make a motion to close the public hearing
Vehicles or something.
So I have a motion to close.
at
One second.
4:48.
Question.
Yeah. There's,
Second.
Wait a minute, there was still public comment. Were you,
no, we were just chatting.
Where it's,
okay. So I have a motion from Councilmember Willis and a second from Councilmember Miller. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Meeting adjourned at 4:48.
We just closed the meeting, Jim, you can go home.
Wait, Jim,
So,
missed it.
That's the CBDG
no,
grant.
and I think one of the tough things, same thing like with CID.
I thought your timing was perfect.
So Jackie, do you
So
want
this is stuff
was
that
perfect.
they
You
say
want this?
you can use the grant
Well,
for.
yeah.
Justin?
I'm just here for.
They're,
He sent me the
you're
template.
supposed to use grant for, then ranking how, like, income targeted housing becomes
And then
high priority on CDBG money. And then also, through that process,
This was a special public
generally,
hearing.
No, one of the few.
generally fire equipment's a little more readily appraisable than police equipment.
which I could.
So I don't have that.
It's a little less income, housing oriented than it used to be.
But it's, it basically.
And yeah, so there's some stuff that you actually have to use, you have to qualify, you have to do surveys of the community, go door to door and do surveys of the community, and find out if the local, the neighborhood in the community qualifies for the use of CDBG money.
Wow.
Some stuff you need to be pre-qualified.
Some stuff we have to do pre-qualification.
Yeah.
What you're talking about, basically making sure that we fall in that category. So do we even go into it? Yeah, no, we go into it. That long.
Yes.
That's the grant.
Right.
Yeah.
All four of those, each city or each
Hey, Nick.
function that has that.
So this UAM still, we still, where we, is that a done deal? Did we sign that? Or
Which one?
Where, you know, when we went up.
Priority tower where we were gonna,
All the all requirements?
yes.
All requirements.
This.
No, probably January or February it comes here.
So if it's general, it will only help the community.
See what,
Then
Hunt's just built more.
Yes, and they have a ranking. They're not high.
Times.
Your Christopher
Hey, what's up?
You look like somebody that's been fishing. You are supposed to be.
But it can be done over the phone.
Wanted to make sure. I won't be here tomorrow.
You are in, but I, you know, I try to Salt Lake to meetings a lot. Sometimes I could get halfway there and go,
Jim came for the airspace.
today.
You came to, so we would make sure Santa could come in the area, right? I knew it.
How far down the schedule?
5 minutes in. There's not much on the chart tonight.
Haven't changed that much. I mean, I guess the best part. They still do.
Yeah, so
Everything's still the same.
we have another, we take that out of that, but if you have personnel.
So I did get about notes. So let's not screw up that other deal on that donation. That'll be, whatever it was, the 14. I got it on. So you have to come back to that one too.
Yeah.
There's a minimum.
So if we do any other Tri-City sponsored events, and there's any funds raised to go somewhere, we need to keep.
If we're gonna donate them, some things, like when Lisa does her budget every year, some that if we know what they're going to be, they get put in. to begin with, when they have their public hearing and stuff.
Plus, I use my truck.
Like, I can go through as an example. You don't know who's gonna get them next year, so you kinda have to wait and see what that's gonna be. So if we know if you know what the project's gonna be and who would potentially be a recipient of funds, we can get it in on Lisa's list ahead of time, have the public hearing on the overall budget coverage.
I'm thinking Renfest, we've done a few things like that, so,
Yeah, so
but we'll know,
now
we'll know.
now would be the time to set that up for next year. And then when we get there, it's just a matter of knowing
Gotta cut today.
the final dollar, and does it match the
I
budget?
like it.
So I gotta know, we're gonna get $500, there's gonna be $1,000.
That's it.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
Joseph. I heard your real name is Joseph.
Just staff.
Joe
Now I'm
Joseph.
thinking of all the other things it could be.
Joe Joseph.
I don't know, is that what that was?
Used to be.
Oh,
John.
Congratulations.
Oh, Don.
well, I think Jackie already took the CDBG one, yeah.
9. What do you need?
He wanted to sign the roll for the CDBG.
Oh, thank you.
My pleasure. Looking forward to working with you.
Yeah, it'll be fun. You guys will just,
No, there's 5 minutes.
Just
so
do what
there's
you
one.
do, and then I just put out fires, I guess.
I know, I bet.
Sign the checks. Yeah.
Wrestling coach.
Green River? Oh, in no Delta one.
It's true.
Really?
Get it out. Hey, how are you? How's it going, Ed?
But that's, wow, it's
Not a good
like,
time.
you're driving around.
Good to see you. Thanks for being here tonight. Thanks for being here. Just telling Errol, probably have you in and out here in about 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah. No worries.
How you doing? Quick approval? Quick swearing in?
Earl, how are you?
But if you could drive it over there, it's a little bit. Is your eyes on for a second?
Maybe turn that to.
Turn
them down. Yeah, yeah. The Eagle may track. So Henderson was saying a certain time now, except when I went through
Get ready.
Yep, exactly. I was kind of disappointed that they were going to say
He could have drawn something a little weightier.
yeah, or just go somewhere else.
And a bunch of them were going down.
Well, the other day, because they were supposed to play BYU.
Jackie.
And then they found.
And you can, I mean, the kids are making money now, why get hurt?
Well, the other thing is, you know,
Lots of pressure.
Well, you do, but you have notes, you have a cheat sheet.
So,
that's all it is.
Huh?
Everybody else wanted to. They bypass.
Not only are they
bypass
Yes,
BYU.
they'll,
Them against each other in a ball game.
they'll approve the appointments and the Jackie will swear. Everybody.
Highly intended goals. And then we're not
What's that?
They don't want to play.
No, technically they don't, these terms will start on January 1st. This is like official election. January 6th.
I mean,
When we grew up, this whole game was wasn't for anything.
I don't think
You know, this thing now, it's so all big balls, it's like clip. And then it always play. I guess we'll call, yeah, less.
What's the date?
Usually much deeper.
I think so, yeah. But I think I wasn't that way. I actually somewhere cross country or something. Yeah, it's just a while. Really?
You lost me, because, you know, don't be a
It'll be effective first.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
make sure you send that.
Yeah. Just say effective January 1st.
Okay.
No, actually, good call. And I checked that out with Eric
Yeah.
before, yeah. For the term beginning 1/1/26.
Yeah.
Yes, that was it.
Amy, Joe, and Amy got the color memo. I said Amy, Joe, and me got the color memo.
What's your wife?
I got this out of your closet.
It's a cookie one.
Sorry, that's a Merry Christmas
I should have asked Christian for it, that would have been good.
I'd like to convene the Price City Council meeting for December 10th, 2025. I'd like to turn the time over to Andrew Laszlo for prayer from New Life Ministries.
Let's pray. Father, we already have plenty to be thankful for. Lord, I thank you for calling us and allowing us to be part of this community, Price, Utah, Carbon County. We are truly blessed of God. We thank you for that. Father, I'm thankful that we have the freedom to gather in a meeting like this, and that people are willing to make a sacrifice of their time and their energy, make good efforts. And Lord, it's everybody's desire to just make our community a better place. We know you appreciate that. We know that's the kind of stuff you like to bless. So we're asking you, pour out your Spirit and your grace upon every person here. Help us to hear what's being said. Help us to listen carefully. Help us to receive the peace that comes from being in agreement with each other and being in agreement with the Spirit of God. We ask your blessings in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Andrew, don't go anywhere.
I'm not.
So,
I've learned over the years.
So, what I'd like to do at this time, Andrew, is because of, for 8 years that you coordinated to make sure that we had prayer at our city council and to get those other ministers to, fill in that assignment, I'd like to give you a key to the city for your dedication of doing this. And so,
Thank you.
yeah.
Let me do that. Do it one more time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andy.
All right.
You do know that doesn't work, right?
No, I'm gonna be at every door at dinner time.
Okay, item 1, Pledge of Allegiance. Please join with me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with with liberty and justice for all.
Item 2, roll call. Let the record show that we have a full council. Historical. Item 3, safety seconds. I'll turn the time over to Councilmember Miller.
Thank you, Mayor. I've been thinking about what we normally do on December 10th and the safety advisories we issue, and they're usually about snow tires and watch out for ice and keep your cars off the streets for the snow plows. And none of those seem to be appropriate today. So my safety advisory is when you go out, wear your sunglasses, put on sunblock, and be careful.
Yeah.
When you're playing in the park, be very careful.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks, Lane. Item 4A, airspace permit, consideration and possible approval of airspace permit for Santa Claus for delivery of toys and goodies within Price City. That's a motion.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What happens if we don't okay this?
You're gonna be on the naughty list.
You're gonna get a bucket of coal.
And I want to clarify, does this give him the right to land on my roof? Or is it just to hover above?
Fly above.
You're definitely gonna be on the
Wayne,
naughty
I
list.
told you, you're not getting him landing, so I would make the motion that we approve the airspace.
I'll second it.
Okay, I have a motion from Councilmember, or first from Councilmember Willis and second from Councilmember Miller. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item B, annual planning commission appointments. Consideration of possible approval of the reappointment of Chris Wood, David Black, Errol Holt, and the appointment of Amy Jesperson to the Price City Planning and Zoning to take effect January 1st, 2026. And the swearing in will be after we make that motion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I move we approve the reappointment of Chris Wood, David Black, Harold Holt, Amy Knott Jesperson to the Price City Planning and Zoning Commission effective January 1st, 2026.
I have a motion from Councilmember Prisman and a second from Councilmember Richardson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. So that the appointment, then, like, Amy will be an alternate, and then who would take Richard's?
Chris has been a standing alternate, and he'll be a permanent position. A standing alternate position is a permanent standing alternate, attend all the meetings. I was telling him earlier, Chris, I think with 4 years or so you've been doing that, there's been one time that you weren't included.
Yeah, correct.
Probably Errol, in your position, we call you half a dozen times a year.
Yeah. That's great.
Good. Okay, turn the time over to Jackie for the swearing in. So you want to do it one at a time or all? I'll come up to You go.
We want to stand right here?
Sure.
Okay.
You don't have to give me a- You don't have to give me a- Okay, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Utah,
the Constitution of the State of Utah,
the ordinances of the City of Price,
the ordinances of the City of Price,
and that I will discharge the duties of my office
and that I will discharge the duties of my office
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Congratulations.
Anybody want to speak?
Thanks for the opportunity.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing this. Okay, item 4C, America 250 documents, consideration possible approval of the following documents. Number 1, resolution number 2025-29, a resolution supporting America 250 Utah and recognizing and approving of the Price City Utah 250 Community Committee. memorandum of understanding between the America 250 Utah Commission and Price Municipal Corporation. 3, America 250 Utah logo usage agreement. Any discussion? Chair will ask for a motion.
Do we want Megan
I think
Oh,
we
I
need
guess
to
Megan's gonna,
talk
Yeah.
about it.
oh, you're gonna talk
to,
about
yeah,
it.
would you like to? Yeah, Megan. What is it?
What is it? Is a very good question. Thank you for considering this. The America 250 is a federally backed program that was started a couple of years ago in recognition of America's 250th birthday next year. And so as it trickled down to to America 250 Utah, and then it went through Main Street Utah, which is an organization that the Price City Downtown District is a member of. They made us aware of these federal funds. It's a grant that the city approved us applying for. We've been working on it since the spring of this year. Lots of meetings, lots of paperwork, but they approved us and you approved it, which we greatly appreciate. So now this is finalizing that agreement that we're allowed to use their plethora of resources for marketing, advertising, planning, coordination, and approving the grant that they'll give us, which is $1,500 to go toward whatever event we decided to hold to celebrate America 250. And so a planning committee was formed within the downtown district and then expanded to the public. And after a lot of back and forth as to what we should do with these funds, we have decided to do a Liberty Gala. If you don't mind, I'll hand these out to you just to save the date for next year. This will be a formal event, red, white, and blue themed, of course, with dinner and live entertainment. The committee members are listed on the back, but it will just be a wonderful opportunity to recognize the country as a whole and our birthday. Who doesn't love celebrating birthdays? But we're looking at inviting many, many veterans and honoring veterans during this event. And just still very early in its planning stages, but it's looking to be quite the soiree. So we hope that you all can attend and appreciate your support for it.
I want to comment on the upcoming letter and then in the summertime, the hearing stuff we talked about.
Oh, certainly, yes. So this will also act as a fundraiser that we will be presenting next month with the approval to donate those funds. And it's really, really worthy cause that we're going to donate to. And so we'll have more information on it next month. Any questions? No? Great. But get out your dancing shoes and pick out your formal gowns.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Megan.
Thank you.
Okay. Motion?
Would you like to?
Mayor, I move that we approve resolution number 2025-29 for approving the America 250 agreement.
Have a motion from Councilmember Miller,
Second?
a second from Councilmember Jesperson. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 4D, resolution number 2025-30, Price City Water Conservation Plan 2025, consideration and possible approval of a resolution to adopt the Price City Water Conservation Plan 2025. Who's talking?
Best we can.
So, the state of Utah requires that municipalities have a conservation plan, develop and maintain a conservation plan. We have a conservation plan that's been established for a while, and it gets updated from time to time. And when it updates, we have to do it by resolution. So we're gonna approve the resolution to update this plan. The most changes we've made to it in the last 5 years are adding our water rates we approved this last April. We have a new water rate structure. And also looking at our goals for water usage and reestablishing those. And just kind of an explanation on the goals. What the state looks at is the gallons per person per use per day. How many gallons do you use per day in drinking, showering, everything you do? And for the last 10 years, we've averaged low 200s, low 200 gallons per day per person. The Colorado, Upper Colorado River region has a goal system set up. There's a chart on this graph chart on this plan. It's a little hard to read, but the goal of the Utah Upper Colorado River region is currently in 2025 we're shooting for about 275 gallons per person, and by 2030 they want to be down to about 260 gallons per person. By 2040 down to 250 and holding about 250 gallons per person. We're already at below 200 gallons per person here in Carbon County. We do really well. And so our goal structure, if you go to the next page, which you don't have in front of you, but our goal structure is to reduce that usage by at least 2% per year each next decade. So in 10 years we reduce by another 2%. And stay below that 200 gallon per usage now, and we'll be below the target of the Colorado River forever. So we're just going to continue to maintain where we're at. We have, like I said, when we have issues on trying to conserve water, our community does really well. We ask them to be careful with water, they are. And overall, without asking them, they are pretty frugal with the water. So it's a good compliment to our community and how well we use water. But that's the goal structure we set up for the city for the last 30 years, is to stay below that 200 level, even though we're way below the regional average. Any questions? I'm not going to answer it all.
Under this plan, I mean, we're also trying to, like park strips, make citizens aware of, you know.
We always make people aware of ways they can save water. Yeah, the water wisely campaign
For the future.
points those things out. They can use water saving fixtures and things like that too. They need to. We could incorporate those specifically, but we don't feel like we need to. We're already well below the usage, so we don't need to go too much lower for usage. We just want to stay where we're at, where we're way above way below the average on usage. So we can spend more effort and time on that, but I'm not sure it would produce much more result than we got now. And people are learning those ways of saving their cost on their water budget by doing those things, and that's great, and that helps promote conservation too. But this is all before our rates went up too, so we may see even more conservation now, so the rates went up, so.
Any questions from the council? I'll ask for a motion.
Make the motion to approve resolution number 2025-30, Tri-City Water Conservation Plan 2020.
And then second.
Have a motion from Councilmember Jesperson and a motion from Councilmember Willis. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item 5, consent agenda. Is there anything, no questions on consent agenda? Chair will ask for a motion.
A motion to accept consent agenda items A through G.
Have a motion from Councilmember Willis,
Second.
second from Councilmember Richardson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 6, public comment. Is there anybody who wants public comment? Item 7,
I have unfinished business.
okay.
Since this is the last council meeting for 2 of our council and the mayor, I want to present for all the dedication and hard work you guys have done.
Thank
And
you.
present the mayor, outgoing mayor, the gavel. Oh, that he can take with him. And I would ask if you guys each would take some time to talk about what serving on the council meant for you. And know how much those of us that are still here really appreciate the hard work that you guys did and know what it takes. Well beyond what most of the public is aware of. So.
Yeah, so I'll start. So my first year, as maybe Tanner could attest to this, and the others, we kind of spent a lot of your time trying to figure out what's going on. The thing my takeaway is, there's a reason why there's 5 council members, and we should not all be of a singular voice, but we should all be together with the goal of doing what's best for the citizens of our town. And there's disagreements, but to me, it's a good idea to have discussions and a different point of views, and that's my takeaway. I did the best I could, with always in mind of serving the citizens.
I get to go next. I would probably just echo what Joe said. There was a huge learning curve the first year or two, and I think that was the advice you gave me. We ran into each other at Smith's after I got elected 8 years ago, and you're like, I think I said, so what's your advice for me? And Terry said, just listen. For 6 months, just listen. Don't say anything, just listen. All the meetings, all the tons of meetings, tons of discussions. In the last 8 years, we had some the first 4 years were pretty smooth. COVID hit and just disrupted everything. That was crazy. Crazy time, crazy town, crazy country, so much craziness going on. But really interesting to see how things evolved, and we worked through them and still kept running as a city. That was really interesting, really interesting time, and and benefited from it in a lot of ways. And then, it's important to have open, honest discussions and be able to disagree and throw ideas out there. And that's what my advice to Richard and Tina coming in is, listen a lot and definitely speak up and let people know what you're thinking, and because everyone's got different ideas, and so present those. Don't be afraid to speak up and lean in. It's really important.
I don't have that problem very often.
And just thank you for the opportunity to serve.
For myself, going in, I went in for the simple fact that, coal and coal-fired power plants, the sun is setting on that industry, and it's not going away. I always felt like we need to, quit preaching to the choir, but preach outside so our voice is heard, because and we're feeling that impact as a community, as a county. Our taxes are the highest in the state for our homes when you take industry away, and so we need to make sure that we're not, we're talking to those right folks, our legislative people, and making sure that we're diversifying. IE is moving the needle, and I give credit to the Commissioner Jensen that started that ball rolling, and is growing stronger. But then again, as we talk about infrastructure, we talk about all the different means of sustainability. Price City has electricity. We sell and buy electricity, and our prices are going up, and that's something that having the conversations to how do we turn that train around, because generation coal and coal-fired power plants, one part of our impact of economics, but then the other part of it is our cost of electricity. Those are the things that we need to make sure that as a council, as a mayor, to make sure that we're listening to our community, but also trying to find other sources of energy. I think that being actively engaged in those sources, regardless of, we purchase power from UAMPS, but it's not to say we can't go outside. We have that opportunity. We need to be actively engaged and listening to the, other people that are wanting to take that capital risk and make that energy. Water is the other issue. As we go down that road of a reservoir you know, and we're seeing the effects. You know, Miles and I are working, you know, hard on trying to make sure that funding is, you know, moving forward. And, you know, we're as a community, if we don't have water and sustainability of the water, that's the other part that is close to my heart. You know, electricity and water, I guess, are the two things as I evolved from, you know, taking care of our community, that, you know, as a council and as staff, we're actively engaged in trying to make us sustainable. And that's the one thing. Our infrastructure is old. You know, we have a $15 million water pipe, water transmission line that, you know, the council, when they brought everybody together to educate us of the importance of it. I think that's, you know, that's great. We're resolving that issue. You know, the drinking water is important. But then you need the water component also to attract industry and sustainability for the future of Carbon County. You know, we look to our neighbors to the south, and Emory County has answered, you know, done it very well, because those farmers know how important water is. And I'm hoping that we keep, as a council, that you know, keep that, you know, on the front burner. Don't let that slip in the back. Because, you know, we talk about federal funding, and as I meet with different people to get that, keep that federal funding coming, I think that's important. And making sure that, you know, our commissioners are behind us and others, you know, so I think that's fun. The other part is the mayor, as the mayor, you know, I was actively engaged with our first responders, worked hard for that. I mean, tonight, we, as a council, we approved one fire engine a couple years back, and now we've got another fire engine or fire equipment on the docket, and we got to keep that going. We can't lose sight of that. Our first responders need, you know, equipment, and as a city, we always talk about safety. We need to make sure the money doesn't stop the safety component. We can always say it, but when it comes to the money, we backpedal, and we got to keep that going forward as a city and as a county. And I appreciate the commissioners, where they've, you know, our fire contractor, Dinkus, has made us sustainable for our fire contract and given us a substantial amount of money to help us with that. The other part of it is working with our citizens and making sure that, you know, we're listening. As the mayor, that was the funnest part, and I appreciate everybody's support on that. I know Richard saw me one night in action with a family, so, you know, those folks, you know, it's nice to have the mayor's ear. Terry, you're gonna find out that people want to hear the mayor, and you can listen, but action too. Action speaks louder than the words, and I think that's the other part. I can't say enough about all the different agencies too that have supported the city and came to our rescue in different times. And but I appreciate the opportunity to serve as the mayor, and like I've told Terry, I want Terry to succeed as the mayor. I'm not going away. I want to see the city succeed, because if she succeeds, the city succeeds. And that's what I think, you know, this is all about. It's not, I lost and I'm going away. It's important that we support the mayor, and I feel honored that people supported me as a new mayor, and they saw the value of the vision. So thank you.
Give them a hand. With that, I'd make the motion to close the meeting.
Okay, I have a motion from Councilmember Willis,
Second.
a second from Councilmember Miller. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned at 5:28 for my last time.
Can I take a picture of everybody? Sure. You guys. I don't know if you guys want to sit in your seats or stand.
Can I hold my gavel like?
Yes,
Thor?
gavel up. Yeah.
Miles, will you send me a copy of that surplus list again? No, so I can send it to Dave.